Hello everybody and welcome back to KSP POV, where we play Kerbal Space Program in first person. No time for a lengthy intro. We are on the launch pad with a brand new vehicle. It took a bit to put this all together, so rather than focusing solely on the build of that process, we will focus today instead on the mission at hand. And that mission is to finally conquer Minmus by planting a flag. I was very thankful. All that's looking good. I was very thankful for the KXP crowd to make a more fair choice. They could have very easily gone interplanetary and taken that milestone from us while we were still struggling here over at Minmus. I'll keep that up for now. Yeah, I want that. Alright, so that seems to be good enough. We have our app lapses here? We don't. These are different screens that I am not always familiar with. Okay, so we're going to use our nav ball here. I think that'll be fine for us. Alright, so with that, I think we are ready to go. We do have, switch back over to Valentina. We do have a considerable amount more of life support than we did before. Now we can actually survive for a year out there. You may see it's already diminished on food and oxygen. That's just basically to balance down so we don't have more than we need. But with nothing else left to do, we can go ahead and get ourselves launched. Let's throttle up. SAS on. Let's go. Don't have any of the warning meters, so we don't get read out our altitude, unfortunately. Do like those things, but that is okay. Alright, so we're going to first change our rotation. Actually, I think I'm going to tilt over slightly more. This is something new that I'm doing. I didn't do that in testing, but I'm going to tilt slightly more and hopefully get a better inclination. Oh, we're going through the cloud layer. It's nice to see. We can start pitching over a little bit. We see the cloud layer behind us as we pull away from the Earth. Well, from Kerbal anyways. Alright, how's our lower stage doing? Alright, still firing on all cylinders. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and cruise through our ascent and into orbit, and I'll check back in with you soon. And stage, get rid of those side boosters. Clear stage there, no explosives, but none of those are necessary. And now we have full tank of fuel at our disposal. We are doing a little bit of a spin, not really sure why, but it's along the correct axis, so it's not going to mess with our orbital maneuver. And with that noise, we have almost come to completely circular orbit. Let's go ahead and we need to get rid of flight computer. There we go. Let's point ourselves prograde and push out a little bit for it. There we go. Now we are in orbit. Alright, so next step, in order to get to Minmus, we do need to change our inclination as always. So let's go ahead and set that as the target. And wow, I came in at a well funky angle. Okay, so we're gonna do this in two parts, I think. So let's go ahead and start to bring down our inclination here. That's a 40-second burn. Whew, that could have been a lot better. Okay, let's figure this out. I'm going to play around with my maneuvers and see if I can get something a little better than that. Well, there's not much I can do about it. We do need to get our sending node, or our relative inclination down. No two ways about it. It is Minmus. But yeah, next time I shouldn't have launched at the angle that I did. Oh, camera tools, get out of here. And we are gonna watch the maneuver out here because inside the cockpit. Oh, well, the warning's gone off, but that was a very annoying warning sound. But oh, it's because our engines are firing. Must be charging it. Alright, so let's keep an eye on our stage. We can just keep an eye on this. That'll tell us everything we need to know. We're pointed towards maneuver, so that is good. And once that fuel runs out, which is... oh shoot, where's the stage button? It's right here, I think. Once that runs out, we will jettison it. There we go. And now we are on our final stage. This will bring us to Minmus. It will circularize, it will land, and hopefully, all fingers crossed, they'll bring us home. Alright, so our relative inclination is nice and low, so let's go ahead and plot ourselves a maneuver. We're just going to put in something like that. It doesn't need to be too specific. We are going to change it later. Is 915.9 meters per second delta V, which is not ideal. We only have 2888. But there's nothing we can really do about that, so let's go ahead and plot that into flight computer. Let it do its thing. We're going to make a mid-course correction and then bring you all home. Oh, that's fun. You can see the orbit lines on the camera. I don't think you're supposed to. Alright. And let's see where that takes us. Not close enough. So, we could probably just feather that in. Let's see. Yep, pushing that in. Nice, we might not even need to make a course correction at all. Oh, yeah, we will. No worries. Perfect, but it's only 0.1 second. We do have a throttle limiter. Brings it down to 1 second. That's the best we can do, though. Plot that into flight computer. Let that position itself. That's gorgeous. Anyways. Alright. I'll see you at the maneuver. And that is it. So that should put us exactly where we need to be. Relatively where we need to be. Alright, so let's turn our thrust limiter back all the way up to 100%, lest we forget. And plot in our circularization burn. We are getting close, everybody. But we are not there yet. Alright, so once again, plot that into flight computer. And, well, let the computer handle the rest. And we are officially in Minmus' sphere of influence. Can't see anything out of the cameras. We're gonna time warp our way close to the maneuver and get ready for it to fire. It's gonna be a 6-second burn, so it's gonna be rather quick. Can't see anything coming out our windows. Oh, see it coming in on our cameras though. That is gorgeous. All right. And with that, we are successfully circularized above the moon of Minmus. Kill our flight computer controls. See if we can get a better view of that. Oh, that looks nice. Gorgeous. So, Tomini Kerman, Valentina Kerman, welcome back to, well, welcome to Minmus, as you have yet to be here. Yeah, let's get you touched down on the ground. So let's go ahead and get into the map view, plot in landing burn. We're gonna land on this nice, flat, glassy surface. Not gonna take any chances. That'll do 133.3 meters per second out of our 1794. Still doing decently, but not a lot to make me feel comfortable with. That'll do. Excellent. All right, so first thing we're gonna want to do is change to surface mode. Get rid of our flight computer's control. Thank you very much, flight computer. We'll see you later. Turn on our SAS. Point ourselves retrograde. All right. So now, let's see, where is our landing gear controls? Oh, this is, this will help us with our landing, that's for sure. Okay, so that's good. Do we have... Oh, there is the voice announcement, okay. Oh, it does have auto landing, don't want that. Well, it doesn't have any automatic gear settings, so we will just lower the landing gear ourselves. See that hanging out right there. All right, so we should be all set to come in safely flat on the glassy surface of a frozen lake bed on Minmus. Okay, coming in hot. Looks like we're not actually going to be on the glassy surface after all. Maybe we can adjust that a little bit. Going that way. And firing. Okay. Hopefully that didn't change our trajectory too much. Let's check it out. Think that'll do? I might have messed that up. Alright. Where's our surface speed? Or right here. Yeah, we can do this. We got this. Just wanna fine tune it just ever so slightly. There we go. Now we are coming in vertically. Very nice stable speed. Like that. See some stones around us. That's nice. We might be able to collect some science there. But all in all, I'm feeling pretty confident about our landing. Meters altitude. And touchdown. Touchdown? Oh no, it's frozen. Please tell me it didn't destroy ourselves. Oh. It's not frozen, I just pressed the escape key. Had my heart racing there for a second. Valentina, don't do that. Don't do that to me. Alright, so we have touched down on Minmus, and we are ready to plant our flag and conquer it. Valentina, you can go ahead and be the first one to take that honor. Well, that was an ominous shot. Look at that. Anyways. Alright, so the first Kerbal in the POV department to touch down on the moon of Minmus. All in the namesake of exploration. Looks great, Valentina. Go ahead and hop back in. Because after all, we don't really want to dally here. The point has been proven, and I'm actually really excited to start working on other programs as well. Getting ourselves interplanetary would be great. Alright, now it's time for Tomini. Go ahead and get on out there and... Oh, excuse me, not Tomini, Rowaney. I've been calling you the wrong name this entire time. Let's get Rowaney out on EVA. He's gonna go ahead, take a surface sample, take a crew report, do some EVA science, make sure that this was worth it. Alright, so we got all that, so we're going to go ahead and put that into the cockpit. Then we're also going to come out here, get ourselves up into some good space, and perform all of our science again. That's fun. Oh, I guess we've already done that. Never mind. Nonetheless, it'll be good. Oh yeah, we should, before we go, take a quick peek around and see if we can't find a Minmus stone. I think that one right there might be something. Oh. I thought that was the right stone. No, but I think that is. There you are. There we go. 150 science, but we've got to return it to Kerbal. Thankfully, Minmus's surface is nice and clear, so I was able to spot our ship with relative ease. Now the question is can I get back in without destroying A, the ship, B, myself, or C, both? Piece of cake. Now climbing ladders, that on the other hand, that's where the real degree comes in. Nice, nice, nice. All right, so let's go ahead before we leave. Action groups over here now. Valentina, you do the honors of collecting all this science. Take that. We're gonna put that in our item collection. And then Roni, you're gonna go back out one more time and just change out the mystery go. And the science lab. There we go. All right. So now we are ready to go and take off from the surface and get back. I guess I don't necessarily need that. Get back to orbit and bring ourselves back home. So it was a successful mission as long as we can... Well, it'll be successful as long as we can bring our Kerbals back home. But nonetheless, we have officially conquered Minmus, planted a flag on its surface, and proven that we can get there. Now let's get ourselves back. Turn floodlights down. We don't need that. All right, get permission from mission control. All right, I'll take it. And let's first let's get up in the air a little bit, or up into the atmosphere a little bit, and then we're gonna tilt over eastward. Extend our gear. Got enough altitude, apoapsis altitude, that we're not gonna run into any rocks, so that's good. So now let's go ahead and plot our maneuver. We don't necessarily need to circularize, but I feel like it will behoove us. Of course, we're going to plot that into flight computer. All right, we're going to take this nice and safely. We're going to get into orbit around Minmus, and then we're going to get into escape trajectory to Kerbal. And I have tested this at high angles of approach, and it does survive, but it is quite the journey. So we can either, depending on how much fuel we have left, we can either go for the fiery entry or something a little safer. All right, we have circularized. So now we are very safe. We're not in danger of colliding with the celestial body in any way now. We're high enough to, with our 11 kilometers, we're going to be high enough to avoid any of the mountains. Let's get an eye on Minmus. There we go. Like it. All right, so now we can plot in our return maneuver back to Kerbal. We do have over 1,000 meters per second delta V, which is going to be quite handy, but I still feel like we're cutting things a little short. Well, maybe not. It only takes 200 to get into an escape trajectory, so let's change this around a bit. I think I'm leaving from the wrong side. That's what I like to see. Alright, so that will give us 73 kilometer periapsis, which is not bringing us back into space. However, I can do a lot with that as far as circularizing. And it's only 185.9 meters per second. I think we're going to be fine, delta V-wise. So let's go ahead and put that in. Maybe we'll come in a nice, even circular orbit around Kerbal before we decide to re-enter. We might have enough delta V to afford ourselves a nice, cozy return. And there we have it. With a periapsis of 73, that makes a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and bring it in for a circularization. Oh, there's something funky going on here. There we go. Bring it in for circularization. That is going to take the majority of our delta V. So let's make a quick change to this. Let's delete this maneuver. We're just going to ease in our throttle until we're inside the atmosphere. Let's say 48, add our maneuver at the periapsis, circularize. It's a little dangerous because we're going to be circularizing in the atmosphere. Let's focus, hold on. Let's focus on our maneuver. Let's plot this out a little bit better. I'm sure we can get this. So let's make our maneuver slightly before that. Circularize there. See, what does our trajectory look like? Trajectory is not really giving us a lot of help here. All right, let's try this. That's going to use the entirety of our delta V and then some, but it just might work. So as we align ourselves into position with our maneuver, let's go ahead and wave goodbye to Minmus. Minty green surface. I don't know. I'm still not convinced. I think it might be a wasabi pea. But anyways, let's say goodbye to it. And maybe we'll see you again soon. Maybe not. Maybe we might move on to something bigger, something better, or something smaller, darker, more interesting, or maybe something that doesn't even exist altogether. But we'll have to see when we get there. Oh, I almost forgot. Valentina, hit it. Action group number 4. Space high above Minmus. Unfortunately, not a lot of science to grab. But nonetheless, good to grab it anyways. And we're gonna store all that science as well. Alright, so now we're looking good. So, nothing left to do except to time warp our way out of here back into the sphere of influence of Kerbal, and then hopefully we can handle our maneuver at the right time. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to time warp our way till about here. And we're going to kill our time warp. Kill it. Or slow it down anyways. And slow it. And keep it nice and slow. Alright. So now we're pointed that way. Let's go ahead and retract our solar panels. Where is that? Here. Let's retract those. Those are in. Nice. Alright, so we only have our final stage. We're going to get our floodlights on in here. We've just got the one final stage before our heat shield and our parachutes. Mission Control, you ready for us? Sounds good. Alright, let's time warp our way into the atmosphere and bring ourselves home. Alright, and as soon as we run out of fuel, we are going to need to stage. Alright, so we are within the atmosphere now. Okay, we are burning. This is it. Well, we are captured. Our periapsis is below the Kármán line, so no matter what, we are coming back today. Whether or not we come back safely is yet to be seen, but I'm excited. There we go. That is the last of our fuel. Get flight computer off of us so we don't have that locked. Get ourselves... let's turn different way. Let's turn this way. And separate. Now when we point retrograde, that'll be out of the way of us. Hopefully. Might come rocketing back at us, but we shall see. Alright, so there's nothing else left to do except coming back through the atmosphere. Hopefully we don't burn up too high. We got our pod temperature here, external temperature, so we can keep an eye on things. Fortunately, it's not the red gauge that I enjoy. I could see very easily if we're gaining too much heat, but nonetheless, we'll keep an eye on it. And yeah, so let's come back in. Oh, we're starting to build up some of the firefly heating effect there. We're not really going to be able to see very much of it through the cameras or through here because all of it is basically on our heat shield, but nonetheless, keep an eye out. Oh, been neglecting this camera the entire time. Keep that to our yeah, we could probably kill the node. There we go. Gonna turn off our floodlight again. Oh, it might actually give us a better view of the re-entry. Oh, what's that? Low charge. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna have low charge. It's to be expected. Quite peaceful, actually. Quite beautiful. Are coming in pretty fast, though. Ooh, it's blinding. Look at that. Should we start instituting a roll, or is that going to be more dangerous? I don't even know. We will see. A couple storms over there. That's kind of fun. Whew, is it getting hot in here, or is it just me? At 27 kilometers above the surface, and we have yet to cool down. I'm getting a little worried. And with that, the heat has dissipated. Yay! Celebratory wiggle. Alright, so now all that is left to do is make sure that our parachutes deploy. Otherwise, we're going to be having to do another bailout maneuver like we did in the last episode. However, I feel a lot less confident about our odds doing that in this capsule because there's not an easy access to the door. So, let's try not to do that, shall we? Time warp our way forward. Speed up a little bit as we come through the clouds. Switch our camera over to something that gives us some view. Yeah, low charge, I know. Alright, well, I'm going to be cutting out that sound. So unfortunately, no more sounds until that is done. But nonetheless, alright, so we're at the cloud layer. We can go ahead and stage. Stage? Is it staging? Okay, there we go. Didn't see the parachute deploy. Oh, coming in rather fast. Okay, so we slowed down considerably. Alright, I think we are going to make it, everybody. That has been a successful mission. Valentina, take a bow, because that was quite the piloting that you did. Roni, Kerman, you as well. Congratulations on all the science you achieved and will achieve moving forward. And thank you all for watching. This was a fun mission, and where are we? Okay, you know what? We're gonna get out of first person there for a second, IVA mode, because that warning was killing my ears, because you didn't have to listen to it, but I did. But anyways, with this mission concluded, we have successfully completed planting a flag on both the Mun and Minmus, allowing us to move outside of Kerbal's sphere of influence. And in the next episode, we are going to take a stab at going somewhere new. Obviously, the KXP crowd has first shot at it, since they were kind enough to allow us to catch up. In the next episode, they're going to be going somewhere. If you left some in the comments, I'm really excited to see where that somewhere would be. But if not, we're going to decide where it's best for that group. However, on POV, I'm going to have to really think hard and consider my options about where we're going to be going next. But I'm excited to show you when we do. Let's go ahead and bring these Kerbals home, and then see what kind of science we got, see what kind of funds we got, and see where we're going to be when we see you next. Whoo! 1028.9 science. That is significant. Thank you guys. Valentina earned all of those awards. Roni, you too worked very hard on those exceptional contracts and brought us nearly to $1 million, so that will be quite a boost once we get into the next episode to start our program off yet again. But anyways, that is where I'm going to leave today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward for more KSP POV. If you did think about subscribing, drop me a like, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.